Oh my god, my camera's about to die. But we got a sleeping puppy. My little lamb. That's so out of focus. Hey webheads, okay. Hey webheads, okay, so today's video basically is going to be about Ace Comic Con. I almost said Alamo City Comic Con, no, Ace Comic Con. We're going to be discussing everything that I experienced, what I saw, and just 5 general topics that I wanted to discuss. And if I look a little, it is 1 in the morning, I can't sleep, I have a really bad migraine, it doesn't help that I'm using the light, but I'm going to be talking to you guys because I need to talk about this because it hasn't been done yet and I need to put my opinions out there because there was a lot that happened, a lot of bad things that happened, and I understand that it was their first con. Well, the other one that was, I think, in Rhode Island, I can't remember. There was another Ace Comic Con where they had Gal Gadot and everything. There was that one, but this one was mainly for like Tom Holland, Chris Evans, Sebastian Stan. So let's get on with everything else. I made a list on my phone of 5 things, well, 5 topics, and then I'm going to discuss certain things in the topics. Some might be longer than others, so you're going to be sitting down for quite a while. So grab a snack, grab a drink. First topic that we're going to be talking about is the location. The location was at the Gila River Arena in Glendale. So this arena is basically made for like hockey events. I thought it was not the best place to be holding a con, and the reason why is because in San Antonio for the Alamo City Comic Con we actually have a convention center. It's the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. That is where they hold the Alamo City Comic Con there, and they have it spread out nicely where everything is on the same floor. Ace Comic Con was hectic. I had no clue where anything was. I had to find out from people. I had to ask around more than I normally should. So imagine where the rink is. So here's this oval. There's half of it is already gone. Okay, so imagine half of this is for the stage, seating down here, and then up to the rest of the audience so people can watch the panels. So the panels are going, I say, like on the left or the right side, depending on which side you're looking at. It's over here. Then you got over here is half like different kinds of toy vendors, pop figurine sellers, you name it. It's kind of smushed in this little tiny area. When I first went down there, it was fucking packed. I have really bad claustrophobia, and that triggered a really bad attack with me. It was very uncomfortable. Everything was smushed. I'll be honest, not my... I don't even want to say anything because I feel like I'm going to say something and I'm going to offend someone. But it was fucking awful. And outside, there's right here is where you have to go through security to get to the lines for the photo ops. And behind that area, where I guess like everything else backstage, they have all the photo op little cubicle things that they separated with curtains and everything. And then on the other side, like here's the curve, they took down the little part of the barrier, and then there's a booth here where you can pay for photo ops and signatures. I'll get into that for topic number 2 or 3, I can't remember, it's on my phone, but I'll get into that in just a minute. I'm trying to set up the whole so you can clearly imagine, and then on the other part, this is where you walk back from after taking your photo op, because you take your photo up here, here's the curve, there's the lines, the fuck ton of lines, I'll get into that as well, and then the back area, and you walk back, and you come over here, and then you're by the seating area. Oh my god, I really hated this venue because of how much space was taken up just by the auditorium seats. And then like each level, I'll get into that for topic number 2. You have an imagination, a standard hockey rink cut in half, about 15 to 20 comic book, all kinds of vendors smushed in a small area, along with a security area to get to the photo ops. And imagine all people in that area bumping and stepping on toes, you name it. It was a clusterfuck. For topic number 2, we're going to be discussing the vendors there. Like I said in the first section for the location, how everything was set up. Now you have the second, the third, and the 4th tier. The third floor had nothing on it, and then the fourth floor, I believe, was because you had to go up the escalator on the second floor, and then you had to go up and then take the other one to go up to the fourth level, floor level, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the second floor had a mixture of artists and vendors. It was weird, I'll be honest. Firstly, how Alamo City Comic Con organizes their stuff. They have the vendors and everything in one area, and they have it separated by tags hanging from the ceiling. So it'll say like areas, and normally they have like a chart of where all the vendors are basically. And then they have the artist alley, I think is what it's called. But all the artists are in one area, then the vendors and everything are in one area. And then you have the photo ops in one specific area and the autographs in one specific area. It's not all fucked around. It's easier to maintain and a lot more enjoyable to view everything and not feel cramped. I got bumped so many fucking times just by looking at the art, just because somebody was trying to get through, and that makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be uncomfortable while I'm at a con. Like, I've had my ass grabbed, had it happen at Ace Comic Con, had it at Alamo City Comic Con. It happens everywhere, but the level of uncomfortableness that I felt at Ace Comic Con was beyond having my ass grabbed. Like, I felt more attacked at Ace Comic Con than I do when I have my ass grabbed. Like, it is super uncomfortable to have, because the hallways are narrow, so like having all these booths, and it makes it a smaller area, so then people are trying to get by, you get bumped, hands go places, and it's just like, it's worse than I experienced at Alamo City Comic Con, which is our con down in Texas, San Antonio. On the fourth floor, there was also more vendors. More. But like, why? Because there was all the signatures and everything were on the fourth floor. But, oh my god. Awful. Like, get your shit together. I'm just trying to put this nicely, like, you need to get a different area for that kind of con. Especially if you're having big celebrities, such as Tom Holland and Chris Evans. Like, all the people from those movies that you have accumulated, those big stars, and you're expecting that fan base to be in a small area, to put us in a small area was not okay. My lash is like coming off, and like that. But the vendors, I can only throw down a couple $100 at Alamo City Comic Con. The fact that I barely spent anything. I only bought a jersey, a pop figurine, and my Spider-Man earrings and those Legos. The fact that I didn't have the urge to want to spend my money says something about the choices of vendors that they had. It was a lot of the same stuff. I would go to each vendor. There were so many pop figurine vendors that I was kind of bored with it. Like, okay, I get it, but a lot of the same vendors had a lot of the same things. So it wasn't a, like, high of, like, oh my god, like, that's so cool, like, that's unique. No, like, there's nothing. Like, at Alamo City Comic Con, there are literally actually people that make, like, the glass beer mugs, but, like, have, like, special designs on them. There's people like that there. Like, there's cool things and cool little, like, sponsor vendors there. Like, different, like, from radio shows or all kinds of different things. Or, like, last year, I got my blood taken for, like, research, you know? There's cool stuff like that and different kinds of things at Alamo City Comic Con. And there was barely anything fun there. Like, there was barely anything. And some people might disagree. That's fine. Like, if you had a totally different experience than me, that is cool, but I'm comparing this to my con that I've been going to for the past 3 years, and for me not to want to spend my money says a lot. And for me to get bored with items says a lot. The variety that San Antonio's con has is literally insane, with all the vendors that they have, to jewelry, to anything you can imagine, is so cool. Like, we both didn't buy a lot of things. Like, that's, for us, that says something. So that kind of bothered me on the vendor aspect, but the artist, there was a lot of cool artists. Like, don't get me wrong, like I actually met a artist. His Instagram is Mustafa Inc. We took a picture together, Maggie and I, with his artwork that had Spider-Gwen and Silk. He had really fucking awesome art. Like, there were some really good artists there. I told myself I'm not gonna spend money on art. The only thing I spent on was on his piece because he was the only one that had a Silk piece. Everybody else had a Spider-Gwen piece. Like, I get the hype about Spider-Gwen, but nobody knows about Silk. Nobody cares about Silk. Like, I hate that. I was surprised that he had a Silk piece because he saw Maggie and I's cosplay, because I was Silk that day and she was Spider-Gwen, and we were like the cosplay duo kind of that day. Just the fact that he had a piece was so satisfying. So like my cosplay had a purpose and it was so cool. Like, his artwork was really good. Like, there is good artists. Like, I'm not gonna bash on the artist there, because there are some really talented people there. Just the vendors and the oversaturation with pop figurines and comic book sellers, like, yeah, okay, like, there's comic books, like, is there anything else, like, anything else interesting? Like, for me to find these Spider-Man earrings, like, that was unique, that was different. There was a jewelry, like, they had wallets, belts, like, it was really cool to see that variety. But when there was just a repetitiveness of stuff, and then half the stuff was, like, super overpriced, and I was like, I get it, you're coming to a con to sell your stuff, but at the same time, that thing that I just saw, I found it on Amazon for $5 cheaper, maybe $10 on certain items. Like, you're overpricing it and you're trying to screw people over, and I hate that. Like, I get the point. Yeah, you're trying to make money, but at the same time, when I can find it for cheaper, do you really think I'm gonna want to spend my money on that? No. Yeah, I've gone to many cons, and so I know when people are trying to scam you, and there's a lot of scammers there trying to take your money, and I wasn't impressed. Yay for the artist there. Awesome work. Awesome picks for the artists. Like, good job for Ace Comic Con for picking some bomb-ass artists for there. And along with the cosplayers that they picked to be there, Alina Masquerade. I fucking love Alina. She's so fucking sweet. I love her. Third topic is going to be about the photo ops. And I've never really done a photo op in my life before. And the way that Alamo City Comic Con does it is like you can buy the tickets online, and that's how normally a photo op works. Like, I know the gist of it, but at Ace Comic Con, along with the signatures, I will say that it's kind of a little stressful when you have to just like buy everything online. A lot of the time, that was kind of frustrating for me. I was like, really, I have to buy all of it online? Because in San Antonio, for Alamo City Comic Con, when you go to the autograph area, you wait in line, and there's a person right there telling you, like, oh, their autograph is this, blah, blah, blah. It's extra if you want to take a quick picture. Like, some celebrities will let you take a picture with them or take a picture of them. It just depends on the celebrity who comes to San Antonio, honestly. One year we got all the Stranger Things kids to come to San Antonio, but we would never get any, like, big people, like, huge people. I know one year we had Stan Lee, like, that was a big thing, but I think he has, like, a home in San Antonio, I can't remember. A lot of time you pay cash for the autographs. Like, when I met Corey Michael Smith, I just gave him $50 and I got a signature. Same with Mignon Wen. That's how signatures worked down here, so it was totally different how they work there. Like, we're strictly online. I was like, cool, got it, understood, but at the same time, I am so used to actually carrying extra cash on me at cons because of like experiences at San Antonio Comic Con. I'm just gonna, SA Con. I'm just gonna call it SA Con because, like, saying Alamo City Comic Con or San Antonio Comic Con is just like so much. It's a mouthful. It's just a total different experience than Ace Comic Con, and along with the lines. That was a bitch for photo ops, I'll tell you that much. Wow. I asked them 3 times to tell me which line it was because they kept on putting me in different lines, and I was like, you need to tell me which line is the correct line, because if I paid this much money, you need to know where I'm supposed to stand. I'm not going to miss my photo op because you're unorganized. The lines were a hot fucking mess. I get they're volunteers, but if you're a volunteer, you need to tell your volunteers how things are gonna go. Even our volunteers at San Antonio Comic Con are so, see I said it, San Antonio, just rolled off the tongue. But SA Comic Con, they know, like, even if they're a random volunteer that you just like pull like from like the side, they will know. They'll be able to tell you. That's my experience of meeting a lot of the volunteers. I mean, if you're from San Antonio and you've seen a volunteer and they didn't know, that, my bad, that was your experience. But my experience, I've always had a top-notch volunteer at SA Comic Con. But overall, like, I had a great experience meeting Tom and Jacob, and yeah, let's move on before I talk for 5 more hours. Number 4 topic is going to be about security and volunteers, along with the staff, I guess. Staff was really fucking rude. So fucking rude. Gave a lot of attitude to a lot of people because we had questions, because I was in one line and I wasn't told I had to be in this certain area, which was halfway across the whole arena, so I had to make my way all the way from here all the way over to here. You know, you need to have signs to where you need to go, because if I'm waiting in this line, seriously, you're gonna make me wait, like, and just let me sit there when I could be in this line already getting inside, because I had the VIP. I could have been getting inside. Like, it's total bullshit for like what happened that day. The first day was disgusting. There was a lot of volunteers also giving attitude to the buying people, the people that were there to spend their money and have already spent their money for the photo ops and everything. Oh my god. Like, I don't want to go into the stories I have of people giving fucking attitude to me and other people. Them going behind schedule was freaking some people out. And so once we get the line moving, we start going through the metal detector, because last year at Comic-Con for Phoenix Comic-Con, there was a guy with a gun that came to go and shoot someone. So I was told not to bring a bag, which they didn't clarify clearly enough. My mom's friend thought as well that they would have a strict policy of no bags, just clear plastic bags. I was wrong. So I had a Ziploc bag with all my things, and I show up and there's people with bags. So I was a little peeved, but luckily we got a bag. I can show it to you guys, or you'll probably see me holding it in the thumbnail. But I set my stuff down and I'm ready to go through the line. He's taking apart my bag, like my clear bag, and like looking into my items, and he stops me, and I have my meter, my diabetic meter, in a black container. And he's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Well, sir, it's my diabetic meter. Like, I need it so I can check my blood." And he pulls out my bag that has all my little pokies. I call them pokies, whatever needles you want to call them, but I call them pokies. And so it had all my pokies in there, so I can change them, because you have to change your needle every time you stab yourself, because if you use the same needle, you're going to get an infection or something. Something can happen. So he's like holding my pokies like this, and he's shaking the bag, and he's like, "These are needles." I'm like, "Yes, like, I need it to puncture my skin so I can get the blood out, so I can check my blood sugar, because I am currently on a medication called metformin, and that lowers my blood sugar, so I need to know if my blood sugar was going to be dropping or not." But Mr. Security Guard wanted to proceed and give me attitude about my pokies, like that I could harm someone. I'm literally gonna deliberately take it off and go, literally making it seem like I'm going like around and stab people. Like, what the fuck? They're pokies. They're for my medical need. And I had 2 clementines in my bag, and I was like, "So, are you gonna give me a problem about my clementines as well that I need for my blood sugar?" And he's like, "I don't think I need your attitude." And I was like, "Well, I don't need your attitude about my medical needs." And he's like, "What are you talking about? These are needles. You could harm someone." And like, there's people like getting antsy behind me, like, "Come on, dude, like, fucking let her in." And I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna keep this as civil as possible, because this is my medical needs." My Spider-Man case was sitting open on the gray table that they had for looking into people's things. This was my suspicious item that he had to investigate. He unzipped it, you know, being very rough with, it's like getting rough and opening it. I'm just doing it lightly because I don't need to be rough with it. So he like takes my meter out, plunks it in here, takes my test strips, does that, and I'm like, "Dude, like, what if you miss the fucking bag? It bumps off, drops on the ground, it breaks. I don't have a meter. Why are you throwing my shit around like it's nothing?" He grabs this, which is the little thing, you pull back, bam, pokes you, blood comes out. Obviously. It was like this, and he like does this to me. I'm like, just back of my face, I'm like, yes. I'm like, this is my little device that I can get the blood out of. Like, well, what do you want me? Like, I held it. I was like, wanting me to poke myself? This is when I tried staying calm. I might have not seemed calm to most people, but this is when very aggressive Mikayla comes out, slightly passive aggressive, more on the aggressive tone. Do you want to be liable for me passing out on the ground? Your fingerprints are on my medical devices right now. Do you want to be responsible for taking away my needles? Do you want to be liable for me getting in any possible danger because I'm not able to check my blood sugar levels? Grabs my case. He places my meter softly in there, grabs my stick, and gently zips it up, places it back in here, you know. Enjoy the rest of your day, ma'am. I'm gonna walk off. I'm not like full-blown diabetic, but still, levels, if you crash, you fucking crash. There's times where I feel like I'm gonna pass out, or it's hard to breathe. So the fact that I had a fear of that and he was dangling it in front of my face as if he wasn't gonna give me back my needles, it was disgusting. And then people that were behind me finally came up and they're like, "Are you okay? Like, I saw how he was treating you. Like, do you need anything?" I said, "No, but thank you for, like, being concerned. Thank you." And it's just sad that I had to experience that by a security person. Like, sure, like, you need to feel safe, but I felt so unsafe. Like I said, the volunteers and the staff were really fucking rude. Some were super nice. One of them even took my picture of me with my sign that I have that says, "Sorry, Peter, he's my guy in the chair now. Love, Silk." Like, there's some cool volunteers, don't get me wrong, but some of them were 89% were fucking assholes. I gotta talk about this host. I don't remember her name. I could care less. I did not like her one bit for her energy that she was putting out there. It was very awkward, and I have a list. Overbearing and kind of trying too hard as a host, which I get being a host is very hard, but it was uncomfortable. Like, I couldn't even listen to her because I just felt, ugh. It wasn't just me. Also, Mags felt the same way. Like, we both were like, she's trying way too fucking hard. Like, there was times where it was just awkward silence sitting there like, wow, like, she would try and get, like, people to get hyped up, and like, on what? Yeah, this is the fifth thing that we're talking about is this host, okay? This host is the fifth thing. And I might be doing a sixth thing. I can't decide. But also, I had a very big problem with this. They're service dogs, okay? There were people on the bottom floor, and most of them, there was about 5 people, I think, down there that had service dogs, and she proceeded to pet every single service dog. Like, I know most of them were on duty, and she still petted them. We both turned to each other, and we're like, what the fuck? And she's petting them. They're on fucking duty, and you're petting them? Oh my god. Like, I don't... You don't pet a service dog. You do not pet a service dog when they're on duty. Facts! Like, it just drove me nuts. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And I'll probably do a part 2 so I can get some more things to talk about, because I know that there was a lot more than just a lot of negatives. There were some positives, but there was a high majority of negatives. So if you want to see a part 2 and see if I can make any more lists of things to talk about, comment down below. If you have any questions about the con itself or any of the things that I talked about, I will retouch them in this part 2 if you would like. If you are not a part of my webhead family, subscribe and become a webhead, and then click the little bell and you'll get notified when I do make a new video. I try and post interesting content, not the one mainstream videos of strictly one type of video on my channel. I do a variety just to appease everyone because I have male and female viewers, so I'm not going to be constantly doing makeup videos. I'm constantly not going to be talking about random topics. I have a variety so you can enjoy, and I have playlists that you can choose. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time zone you are in. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.